And please keep it going for Penny, everyone.
Hey, everyone. About 15 years ago, I was living in Zurich, Switzerland, and I had just bought my first house. You know how exciting it is when you buy your first house? And it was a double-family house, so, it wasn't kind of my own. It was attached to somebody else's, but it was a really awesome house. I was working a lot. I had a technology company, and I was really stressed out, working a lot. And so I decided that, somebody mentioned earlier that people who play instruments, he wanted to be cool, wanted to be that guy who plays instruments. And I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to be cool. I want to do something different. I've got to break out of my technology brain and do something different. So I decided that I would learn to play the saxophone. Interesting thing is I have zero musical talent. You can ask my brother. He laughs when I sing and says, you got to stop. So, but I don't know what possessed me to think, okay, I can do this. I can play the saxophone. So I went out and I rented a saxophone, and I got myself a tutor. And in the beginning, it's very demoralizing to learn to play an instrument because you really only go, like that was it. That was like the first of what you learn. But so I decided I needed to play more often, and so I thought, I'll come home at lunchtime where nobody's really around, and I'll have the freedom to have lunch and then be able to play on my saxophone. So I'd come home, and the saxophone is kind of loud and annoying. I understand, like if you're only doing but I'm in the house, and I think that it's relatively, not bothering anyone. That's why I chose to come home at lunchtime. And so I played for that whole week, came home at lunch, and I played. And that Saturday morning, everything was great. We saw our neighbors out, and they waved, and we chatted, and they even invited us for a glass of wine that evening. And interesting enough, the next day in my mailbox, there is a long ordinance. And it was highlighted in certain sections. Now, it was in German, so I had to take a little time to read it. But basically, the gist of this ordinance that was highlighted was it is illegal to make noise at lunchtime. Seriously. Now, here's what pissed me off. When I saw it, you might think this too. What the fuck? These people live next to me. We had wine together the day before. Like, if you have an issue, come and talk to me. Knock on the door. I mean, was I that bad? It occurred to me that maybe I was, but still. She should have come to the door, and they should have discussed this. But the thing is that the Swiss, I'm sorry if this is on YouTube, they're a little passive-aggressive. So instead of actually confronting me, they decided to put that ordinance in my mailbox. Well, that was not okay for me. I'm American, and that's not okay. We are direct, and you tell me to my face. So I thought, I'm just gonna keep playing. Let's see what she does now, right? Yeah. So I decide, I come home at lunch, and I'm playing, and I'm getting into it now. We're not just doing we're going We're making as many loud, obnoxious noises with the saxophone as we can to see whether we can rile up a little bit of, because what I really want is for her to come to my door and say, what the fuck? Thank you.
Penny, everybody.